is a beautiful day, and I am out here in the garden. Need to plant these today. Get them established. One is called Exotic Red. Here. Pretty suave. They look pretty good there. On my gardening table. Joey and I are gonna start some seeds here. I have all kinds that I'm gonna use to replace these empty spots in the garden. I have the Seminole squash here that I'm gonna do. It's not Seminole pumpkins. This is Seminole squash. And they're not round like the pictures I've seen. They look more like a butternut squash cross. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how they grow. And I'm going to do a Jubilee watermelon and these ones here. So I'm going to do 5 of the squash and 5 of the watermelon here. For these here, I have rainbow chard that I want to start. I have some Florida broadleaf mustard and some Georgia Southern collards. Put 3 trays of with collard greens, a couple of the mustard, and then these are the Swiss chard. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the seeds down in. And then I'll give everything a good watering. I have them all in the soil here pretty well. I'm going to wait to water them just because Joey here is really enjoying himself laying on the garden table. So I don't want to get it all wet and make him upset, so I'll just wait to water these after he's done taking his little nap here. Oh, don't kick this off. Okay, I'll be back after Joey's done resting. I'm just gonna water all these here. I have some seeds here I've been soaking with some peanuts that I've been soaking overnight. I have some okra here. This is called Bubba, something, baby Bubba. It makes like a short little okra. This is I think it's Clemson Spineless, green, and this is the red. I'm gonna go ahead and get these peanuts in the ground. In between my corn here, so that as I take out the corn, I'll have peanuts growing for the summer. A little rows there, and in between the corn here, and I'm gonna just lay all these peanuts and then cover them up. I'm gonna throw them in the rows here. Because it's so dry, I want to go ahead and water these in before I cover them up. Get it kind of wet because it's like sand and it's dry. So just to get them kind of wet and then cover them up and then wet them again. The reason why I soaked them, just try to help them germinate better. I think that'll be pretty good. It looks well saturated, at least the top. So hopefully those will all germinate and I will have peanuts all growing through here along with beans and sweet potatoes after all the corn is taken out. It's just been a day and they are popping up everywhere here. Watermelon's coming up. So that's pretty amazing. Pretty excited about that. I have a bunch of stuff here in the garden to harvest. Some peppers and I think there's like a little zucchini. I'm really happy with how all these marigolds here got established well because they were just growing here and I just worked them all up and transplanted them all. And I think they're all doing pretty well. I had some marigolds last year right here growing and I just let them seed everywhere. And then see how they are just kind of coming up everywhere here. And I just dug them up and transplanted them. And now I have a whole row over here, or a little row here by these tomatoes. This tomato here, something snapped the bottom of it, so I just stuck it back in the ground and buried it, and I'm hoping it roots and takes off. I have a currant tomato here that I didn't even know I planted that is coming up. These strawberries are doing pretty well. These are the ones I got from the nursery, and they're giving me, I don't know, they're probably giving me about 50 strawberries or so far. They just keep producing. So I'm pretty excited about that. Because they're pretty tasty. I just have to leave them on there until they're really, really ripe. And then harvest them. So far nothing else seems to be getting them out. I had a robin out here that was messing with them like a few times, but it seems to be eating my huckleberries instead. Seeing him over here harvesting these little berries before I get to them. This squash here is done. The spaghetti squash, and this pumpkin here I think is done. It's pretty ripe. Little baby pumpkin. I think that might be all I'm gonna get. Pigeon peas here are blooming, making pigeon pea pods. Sugar cane looks pretty good. I have a little zucchini in here that I think I'm gonna harvest, just because I don't think it's gonna get too much bigger just because it's on this little plant here. A couple peppers here are pretty much ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest them. Use them for something. There's a bunch more little green ones here. The elephant garlic is looking great. We have some green beans here, along with these yellow ones and some purple ones. So I have a variety here. Some cucamelons coming up here, along with these tomatoes and some beans. It's kind of a mess in this little area here. I should just get these tomatoes when they're green though. They might kind of get all yucky there on the ground. Oh, I'll just leave them. This is cool. This came up on its own though. Some more peppers here, but I don't. This one might be okay. I think they have a bit to go. Same with these. There's pepper on here, but I think I'll wait until it gets nice and ripe. Passion flower on this tree. I'm pretty excited because I'm getting little fruits finally. There and there. Will be quite a few hopefully in the future. I think this is a pretty good harvest. I have some peppers, I have some beans, and squash here, some winter squash and zucchini. I don't know what I'm going to make, but I guess I'll make something to eat here. Guess I'll just go ahead and cut open this little pumpkin, and maybe I'll peel it and then chop into little cubes. It's got pretty large seeds inside for being such a small little pumpkin. Go ahead and slice these into little cubes. Pumpkin all chopped up here. I went ahead and cut the spaghetti squash in half and scooped out the middle. I think I'm going to go ahead and peel it and chop it up just like the pumpkin and try it that way. I've never had spaghetti squash like that, and this is kind of young, like not quite mature, so we'll see what that's like. Go ahead and season this pumpkin with some chili powder, some paprika, some garlic powder, and a little bit of black pepper. And I will just sort of mix this together really well. Let it sit for a bit. I'm going to add some curry powder to it. Smells great. I'm going to go ahead and set it aside while I get some other things together here. And heating up here, I'm going to go ahead and put in the peppers, put in the onions, and then I will kind of cook these for a little bit. Go ahead and put in all the pumpkin and squash. I'm going to put in a little water. Stir that around, and I'm just going to cover it and let that cook for a bit. There you go. I think that looks pretty good. Looks like shredded meat in there though. where the spaghetti squash came apart. The pumpkin looks nice and tender though. I'm going to go ahead and add the zucchini and the beans. Stir all this together and put the lid back on it for a bit. Cover it up here and let it sit. I'd say this is definitely done. I'm going to try this out here. Start cooking pumpkin like this more often. It's good, especially if I'm going to be growing a bunch of Seminole squash. That was great. It'd be really good with some potatoes, and maybe if I added a little coconut milk to it. It's really good. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for stopping by.